Grammarly just got a major upgrade. They've introduced some AI tools, and they're way more than just grammar checkers. These are smart helpers that can proofread your writing, humanize your tone, predict how readers will react, and even give you expert-level feedback. In this video, I've partnered with Grammarly to show you step-by-step how to use these AI tools so you can write smarter, faster, and with more confidence. Let's dive in. To get started, just head over to the following website. You'll find a link right here at the bottom of the screen. Once you've signed in, click on New Doc, and that'll open up the Grammarly editor where all the new AI tools live. You don't have to download anything. It all works directly in your browser. If you're on the free plan, you'll still get access to the AI tools, though with some daily limits. If you're on Grammarly Pro, you'll unlock the full experience with no restrictions. Once you're inside a new document, you'll see the brand new Grammarly editor. You'll see a blank page right here in the middle, and along the right-hand sidebar, all of the new AI tools are ready to help. Before we look at the individual tools, Grammarly gives you an AI chat built right into the editor. You can use it to brainstorm, generate ideas, or get unstuck with your writing. Over on the right-hand side, you'll see the AI chat. Now, if it happens to be closed, over here, I'll close it out. Right at the very top, you can click on this icon, and that opens up the AI chat. I'd like to draft an email to a customer here at the Kevin Cookie Company. Down at the very bottom, we see this text field that says Ask AI. Right down here, you could type in a prompt, draft a thank you email to a customer who just placed their first order from the Kevin Cookie Company. Once you type in your prompt, let's send that to the AI. In just a few seconds, it created this polished email that welcomes the customer and shows appreciation for their order. Feel free to pause the video if you'd like to read the email. I think it turned out really well. Of course, I'll need to make some tweaks. Like right up here, I need to insert the customer name and maybe make a few other modifications. Overall, the chat gives me a really strong starting point for my communication. Next up, let's look at the Grammarly Proofreader. I entered in some text here. We're running into some issues at the Kevin Cookie Company. First off, we're running low on inventory, and that's my bad. I should have ordered more last week. And then we're also encountering an issue with our oven. It's not heating evenly. I need one of our team members to look into this. Now, I don't think this message communicates all that well. I think it could use some improvement. Let's see if the Proofreader can help us. Over on the right-hand side, again, we have all of our different AI tools. And right at the top, we have something called the Grammarly Proofreader. Let's try clicking on this. At the very top, it evaluates my current writing quality, and it looks like I got a 36 out of 100. It tells me that the message clearly lists urgent issues. And yes, these are urgent issues, but tone and word choice may be more professional and concise. Down below, I can filter by category. Right up on top, it says use professional tone. Now, if we look over at the canvas, here it gives me a suggestion for how I can improve this writing. Here, it uses polite, formal language for direct professional communication, and then I can see the modifications that it makes. Now, I think this is quite a bit better than what I had, and I like the recommendations. Down below, I'll click on accept. It replaces all of my text with the new and improved writing that'll make my communication more impactful. Now, over on the right-hand side, if we look at the writing quality, look at that, 100 out of 100. That's a lot better. Next up is the Humanizer. Sometimes AI-generated text, or even our own writing when you're trying to sound formal, can come across as stiff or robotic. That's where the Humanizer comes in. Here's a super formal sentence. It is with great enthusiasm that we wish to inform you of the launch of our newly formulated chocolate chip cookies. That's a mouthful. No one actually speaks or writes like that. Let's try humanizing it. Over on the right-hand side, let's click on the Humanizer. Grammarly gives me different voices. Here at the top, we have the everyday voice, which is natural and balanced. Down below, we have the executive, which is a little more formal. Or down below, we also have the scholar, which is also formal and also more precise. This is a cookie company launch announcement, so I think probably the everyday voice would probably work the best. Let's click on this one. Over on the left-hand side, watch how it now rewrites all of the text. Instead of sounding like a press release, it now sounds like something that's much friendlier, much more natural, and it matches the kind of voice you'd actually want to send customers of a cookie company. Now, looking at this, I think it's significantly better. So let's click on accept, and there it rewrites my text. I like that much more. Another cool feature here is that you're not just limited to these preset voices. If you want Grammarly to match your own unique writing style, you could actually create your own custom voice by inserting a writing sample. Right up on top, click on Create a Voice. And here, you can give it a name and also paste in some style references. That way, instead of sounding just generic, your emails and documents will always sound just like you. Now let's try the Paraphraser. Sometimes you already have the right message, but you want to try it in a different style. That's where the Paraphraser comes in. At the top of the page, I have some text. Please check the oven in the back kitchen. Some cookies are burning on one side while others are undercooked. Let's see if we can change the wording while maintaining the same meaning. Over on the right-hand side, let's click on the Paraphraser. And here we have different writing styles. We can humanize it, make it more academic, maybe professional, streamlined, creative, or even simplify. I think this is fairly simple, so let's start with humanizing it. Over here, we can see the suggested changes. Could you take a look at the oven in the back kitchen? It looks like some cookies are burning on one side. Yeah, that is a little more humanized. Let's take a look at some others. Let's see if we can make it more academic. Look at that. Please inspect the oven located in the back kitchen. There is uneven baking. Honestly, this does sound more academic. Let's make it more professional. Let's click on that. Please, instead of check, we're saying inspect, as some of the cookies are burning while others remain undercooked. I think that does sound more professional. So here, depending on your audience, you can instantly adjust the tone. Reader reactions is really interesting. It predicts how your audience might respond to what you've written. At the Kevin Cookie Company, we stand behind our cookies with a quality promise. If we ever fall short of that standard, we have what I think is a great return policy that has you covered. You can pause here to read the details. Now, I drafted this policy, but I'm never quite sure how different people might react to this text. How will, let's say, a customer respond, or how will a retail partner respond? Luckily, we can use the Reader Reactions AI tool to simulate their feedback in advance. Over on the right-hand side, let's hover over all the different AI tools, and down at the bottom, we have something called Reader Reactions. Let's click on this. At the very top, we can choose who the audience is, or who's reading this text. I'll click on this, and here we see different categories. We have potential customers, so people who have not bought any cookies from us yet. We also have existing customers, retail partners, food critics, and even dietary conscious consumers. Grammarly comes up with these categories based on your text. Let's see what an existing customer might think. I'll check this, and down below, let's save and then recheck the text. This generates reader reactions. At the very top, I have a summary of how existing customers might respond to this text. Here it says it warmly reassures existing customers with quality guarantees, a clear refund policy, and transparency. Perfect. That's what I was going for. But could further emphasize gratitude and ongoing customer appreciation. That's fair. I didn't really talk about that all that much. Now here, we see what existing customers will likely remember. Cookies are baked fresh daily, a no questions asked refund or replacement policy, and also ingredient transparency. But down below, I see questions that they might ask. For example, is there a special thank you or reward for returning customers? How do I request a refund? Well, that's fair. If you read this text, what step do you take next if you're unhappy for whatever reason? And then also dietary questions. For these different areas where customers might push back, over on the left-hand side, here too, I see those different categories. Let's focus on the one with clarity around how to request a refund. Right here, I see that potential pushback. If I click on that, here I see some additional text. Briefly explain how customers can initiate a refund or a replacement. And that's fair enough. I don't call that out in that text right up here. Now, the nice thing is, I could go in and try to type that on my own, but down below, I could also have Grammarly generate some examples of text that I could insert. Let's show some examples. Right here, it takes my existing text and then it also makes some updates to it. So here it says to initiate a refund or replacement, simply contact our customer service team through our website or reach out to us via the phone number found on your order confirmation email. Well, that's exactly how people can request a refund. So I like that addition. Down below, I can now insert the example, and that updates my text with that additional information. That's perfect. Now that area of pushback goes away, and I could review all the other areas of pushback as well. Here I could read additional information about why customers might push back, and here too, I could also show an example. Now, over on the right-hand side, here again, we could change the audience. So maybe instead of existing customers, let's see what retail partners might think. Here, I can now save and also recheck. Down below, you see that they have different questions that they might ask. For example, questions about logistics, the order process, support, and also returns. This makes it easy to tailor your writing to whoever you're communicating with and to make sure that you've addressed their likely concerns up front. Grammarly also includes AI tools built for students and researchers, like AI Grader to give feedback on essays, AI detection to highlight if your writing feels like it's been generated by AI, citation finder to pull in credible sources, and plagiarism checker to make sure your work is original. To get the most out of Grammarly's AI tools, here are a few quick tips. First, don't be afraid to use the different tools together. For example, you can proofread your text, then humanize it, and finally run reader reactions to see how it lands with your audience. And second, for certain tools, you can create a voice profile by adding a writing sample. That way, Grammarly learns your style and keeps your writing sound like you. So that's a look at the core AI tools inside Grammarly. They each serve a specific purpose, from polishing tone to giving you real-world feedback. And together, they make Grammarly a full writing partner. Level up your productivity and get Grammarly today. Use the link down below in the description for 20% off Pro. You could even get started free. To watch more videos like this one, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.